I have a camera crew with me this morning.
This is a bloggers.
Yeah. We're doing it. Yeah, man, we're fresh up.
Morning.
You're putting so cool in his face.
Yeah, man. We're doing a day with Tyrone. So,
I hope you have worn the sneakers.
yeah, for
Not
sure.
you, Tyrone, them.
Oh, yeah, man. We come ready, man.
Today is a light day. Yeah, but I sent the contract over, check it out. We set up a call.
Yeah, man. So I think I must say major respect and blessings for the opportunity we can do this.
Yeah, man, no problem, man, of course.
You're always reliable still. You reach out. I'm glad to say that you like them creative things. iCreate, you're still iCreate boss.
You have to embrace it.
You have to embrace it and thing. So for people who don't really know who Tyrone is, brief introduction, like who is Tyrone and what you do?
Yeah, so Tyrone Wilson, founder, president, CEO for iCreate Group. I'm also running 2 other companies, a critical part of running 2 other companies. Kenter Holdings, which is my investment holding company, pretty much owns whatever I own.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a Panjam, for example. So that's what Kenter Holdings is. We just registered it a long time ago, but reactivated it in 2021. So we're doing a lot of work. We're very active, mostly as it relates to iCreate.
Yeah.
But also through Kenter Holdings and my other partners started another company, Parallel Real Estate Ventures Limited, which is a real estate development company where I'm chairman and CEO for Kenter Holdings. I'm executive chairman for Parallel, and my day-to-day is iCreate.
So that nice place to come out with you.
Yes.
I hear that.
So iCreate digital and creative group of companies. We have several divisions: advertising division, training, e-commerce, and media and entertainment. So the active parts now: advertising, which have our agency and newcomer in a few visual vibe, and then training, of course, is the institute. So we've been the leading short skills training partner across the Caribbean for individuals who are looking to learn new skills, improve and grow and so forth. So and then the media and entertainment was tried a little bit in 2020 with Reggae Sunsplash, a virtual one. We wanted to bring that, the large stage in. It's the first reggae music festival in Jamaica. Bob Marley performed there, Jimmy Cliff. So I created the license for a few years, and we haven't restarted our media and entertainment side as yet because we're looking for some key partnership. But that is iCreate, listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
It's on a play company.
Right. Currently it's on the junior market, but we're graduating to the senior market soon. Exciting company.
Yeah,
I would say. Exciting company. Started it not too long ago, 2017, as a test product. Fully registered it as in 2018. It's just 5 years now, and you see where we are.
Yes, but you say it's a relatively new company, but a lot of people, including myself, had the same problem. They're like, how you know that if you put your effort into that idea? Because I know you come up, like, if you stay like me, you come up with an idea every day.
True.
You come up with an idea about a different business, something else you can try. But how you transition to say, all right, from idea to actually execution and to stay committed to it?
Yeah, I got a lot of practice. So one of the major shareholders in iCreate is eMedia, which is a company I started first.
Yeah.
So I started eMedia in 2008.
Yeah.
Like what you're doing now. Digital media company. One of the first in Jamaica.
Yeah.
At this time we were using newspaper. Every day, big newspaper I read. Twitter was young, iPhone wasn't out.
Yeah.
Right? It was like
So
what you see today
Yeah.
didn't exist. Right?
Yeah,
14, close to 15 years ago. it was just a traditional media landscape. And we started e-media, well, e-zines limited, which was a short for e-magazine.
Okay.
And we started producing our own publication. We had Your Money e-zine, which is an online business magazine. I can send you the link to that. Come out every Wednesday. Feature entrepreneurs, execs, startups, all of these different things. And used to have good readership. So we started that kind of push in Jamaica towards digital.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, Sagicor invested in me as a young entrepreneur, 25 years old, 24 going 25.
So how you get to that point though for Sagicor actually notice you?
Attracting investment is a combination of things. A lot of times it's really luck, being in the right place at the right time, but still having the fundamental things. A lot of people starting a business, them start business for freedom, but while you get a certain amount of flexibility, you don't get freedom.
Just
You know,
me notice.
yeah,
This not reach nowhere yet.
Yeah,
and,
you don't get
and
freedom.
And look at them I get from work.
Yeah, you don't get freedom. You
That's
have to set
fabulous.
up. You have to set up your, your corporate governance. You have to set up your advice. What I did, my own blueprint. I did an advisory board. I experienced people guiding me, supporting me. Had my regular meetings, did my PR, put myself out there, and I was noticed. I think that's just it. But when I met the person, again, it's luck, being in the right place at the right time.
What I thought about today.
And pursued it and the investment happened. But I've always wanted to build a large company on the stock exchange.
Yeah.
And people might see my story and say iCreate, because iCreate is a publicly listed company. And then say, boy, it just happened so fast, him
Must be
this
easy.
and that, or how him do it, and
Yeah.
it must have certain links, but I can tell you, when I started business, I knew nobody. I didn't have a network, right? So like how you could just message me and say, hey, may I do that program here, I want to do it. Imagine 2008. You can't message a man
Can't
from
message nobody.
Twitter. It never exists. Or it never reached that far. They weren't on it. LinkedIn, Instagram, right?
Yeah.
You literally have to pick up the phone and call down a Pan Caribbean or Sagicor or NCB and talk to a secretary or whatever. It was so difficult to maneuver the space, right? But we did it. And it was a lot of struggles coming up. Going to a function, like now I can just walk in anywhere, so whatever, they know. But back then, I remember going to a Christmas media party for a big brand. And I just start my thing, just like how you're doing your vlog now and everything. And we just wanted to go there and, as media, right?
Just to show a face.
Interact with some advertisers and whatever. And I went there and it was at Cuddy's. I show you how long ago. You know Cuddy's?
I hear the name, I never not even been into Cuddy's.
Okay, Cuddy's in New Kingston. It doesn't exist anymore. It started by a great Courtney Walsh, Jamaican cricketer. And I go there and, I'm here for the function, and I say, you're not on the list. And I say, okay. But I see somebody I know and I say, talk to him. Him can let me in. And I see when she got to him. And the man said, them time I drive all the way from Portmore.
Yeah.
Couldn't even afford gas sometimes. It was like one drive, chance it. And
You just a book on
because they are building network.
Yeah.
And him said, no. So I said, sorry, sir, can't let you in. I'm going back teary-eyed and everything. And I was determined to build my network, because if you're going to survive in business anywhere, you have to have a network.
Yeah.
You have to have a strong network where you can pull on when you need it. And I did that, and in doing e-zines, get the investment, e-media, all of that, I wanted more. I never felt like that was it. So I started iCreate, and I felt like iCreate was $1 billion business. It was just in me. It was just like, e-media was good enough. It was known. And I love it, and I put a lot of sweat and tears in it. But I felt like iCreate could give me a better platform if I allowed it to start by itself. It was still owned by e-media, but start by itself, attract the right investment, go public, and it was always in my mind for iCreate to absorb e-media.
Yes.
Which is what we're doing now. So we did that in a short time. We tested the product in 2017. We registered the company in 2018, and 2019 we were listed on the stock exchange. Right? It was like a quick climb for us, but that's because we learned so much previous to that.
So, but even if you say it quick, you don't really have no time to learn from a mistake or nothing. Like you have to just roll with the punches.
You do. When you're going in business, you have to be a student of entrepreneurship. What that means is that you have to study the landscape. You have to watch everybody around you. You have to understand the history of entrepreneurship in the country. And you realize that everything is a cycle in business. Every decade, right? It's almost going to repeat itself in a sense in terms of the economic climate. When you look at Jamaica, 80s, 70s was great migration. People leaving the country, worry about communism, socialism, blah, blah, blah. 80s, rise in the economic climate, solid growth, strong US dollar, late 80s, Hurricane Gilbert, right? Early 90s, start move again, late 90s, FinSac, worst financial crisis. Early 2000s, struggle, mid 2000s, start get a little better, late 08, 09, global recession.
Remember that?
It's just
in
always,
high school.
you say you're just always gonna experience some crisis in a decade, no matter what. You have to put your mind like that, and that's how in business. So you learn historic-wise, you learn how to plan, you learn how to survive challenges, you learn how to survive crises. When pandemic came, we were one of the first companies on the stock exchange to put out a notice about COVID and what we're gonna do and blah blah blah. You know, it's because we just know that a crisis is gonna come.
You have to just roll with it.
You just have to roll and you have to lead. So we learned a lot from what we did at eMedia, which helped iCreate to be better, and it helped iCreate to be more resilient. It helped us to be more resilient more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because we learned so much from the eMedia time.
So another thing though, see it as something good when I say in Jamaican business space or entrepreneurship space. Going out and talking to people, I see a lot of entrepreneurs are under 50.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of them were actually successful and I get the chance. Because usually if you know an elder, we have them things established, nobody not take you serious.
No, and it's something that I am passionate about too, right? Because when I was starting up as an entrepreneur, it was a lonely space. It was just me. I can't, in terms of what you're seeing now, there are a lot of other young entrepreneurs, but in terms of the space, like you want to go IPO and XYZ, that was a lonely track.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like I was leading that unbeaten path, right? Because when the Junior Stock Exchange came out, I think came out a year before I started my business, 08, eMedia. And I see it, I'm like, I want to do that. And then I saw Marcus James Access listed as the first one. And I say, and this time he was a young entrepreneur. I think he was maybe mid-30s or so, right? And I said to myself, yeah man, I'll go list my company on the Junior Stock Exchange too. And then I started that path. So I've always been on that path, and it was a lonely kind of space to be in. But then I remember 2012, when Jamaica was celebrating its 50th anniversary, 50th independence, there was this PSOJ did this thing called 50 under 50 business leaders. And myself and 2 others were the only under 30 entrepreneurs in it.
Should I start a new list for them?
Exactly.
30 under 30.
And a few under 40 in it too. Right? It was a lot 40s and maybe late 30s. And when you look at the landscape today, you have the 20s, there's a lot coming up fast. I meet them all the time, they reach out to me, give advice, all of that. And then you have the 30s now. Oh gosh, that's like a superstar field. You have quite a few now who are listed on the stock exchange.
Yes, man.
It's like a rock star kind of feel right now. And
As I say, entrepreneurs are new superstars.
I think so.
You reach Jamaica now.
It's sexy. It's sexy now.
And that-
And it's successful and it's giving results.
At the positive way that we look on things. I'm like the trajectory where it's going right now. Because from the, what you call it now? With the primary school, I'm usually buy my digestives on Friday evening and I sell it. It's like a friend them time that I know like I have to always do something on the side.
Critical.
And it's like, me feel like the society now, the reason you have so much young entrepreneur because it's almost like a necessity.
True.
It's almost like a necessity if you want to have a certain lifestyle or if you want to satisfy a certain hunger. As you say, you start one company and you say, it could have go $1 billion. So you always want to grow.
Yeah.
So if it's a mindset thing, it's like if you feel like sometimes you're just sick.
Like,
Why you always can't stop progress.
It's addictive.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up as a inner city youth. I grew up in Kentire, Papine. And you know, I think Sasko said, Agent Sasko said it once because I'm from Kentire too. He used to walk through Mona and him see the little picket fence and him say, oh, that's him one of them house there. And it's just nostalgic because that's how I remember feeling like just a walk ago from Mona Primary, the primary school, right in the nice Mona community. So when you go home, you walk through the Mona community and you see the mango tree, them and the green grass and the picket fence.
Slowly
and you say to yourself, say, boy, you know, say, I remember for a long time I just want a Mona house, right? But the truth is you start get certain exposure, you have that same ambition and desire for yourself. And then like for me now you go to like JC now where all the experience at JC in terms of old boys and everything is greatness and all of that. You start learning about the entrepreneurs out of JC who start LOJ, which is Sagicor today, Panjam, Jamaica Producers, Jamaica Broilers, CB Group, JC, all around like
That's
massive.
why I have so much
Yeah, man,
like we can
massive.
always respect that with town school, you know.
Yeah man, massive, national,
Yeah.
everything, you name it. And you say, boy, I love that. So I remember, you know, when I finished college, I never worked, like I just go straight into entrepreneurship. Just take the leap and do it.
You ever fear that was a mistake?
No, I think it's the best thing. I think what I miss out on was the ability to learn in a corporate environment.
Yeah.
I think that would have helped me to be more patient with leadership. But I think it was the best decision because it saved me so many years. I still learn from the best, you know, some of the best either way. So, you know, my advice, I know a lot of young people were watching this also, you know, my advice is don't postpone your dreams. Like a one life, you know? And people hear that and think, but one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be 65.
Yeah.
If you live that long, right? And you're gonna say, where did the time go? No matter how successful you are, you're still gonna say, where did the time go? What you don't want is regret. So for me, when I was in college, I used to split my time like this. 50% school, 50% trying to start a business.
Yeah.
So what is easy was started from college. I had a business plan before I leave college, right? It's just critical because I was not going to waste any time. People would say to me, you know, why I rush, like, take some time and build this and do that.
I'm tired to hear that.
My ambition for entrepreneurship is the absolute top. And I mean, I'm not as young now, right? I'm 37. So like I had certain aspirations by 40. So I'm not letting up, right? So you can't wait. You have to do it. So listen, today I deal with with
Kentire boss.
Yes, we just did a call with our partners, the Digital Marketing Institute. Did it at 7 a.m. They're based in Dublin, Ireland, so they're like 6 hours ahead of us.
Okay.
So sometimes my morning start very early. Regardless, my mornings always start early. I'm a morning person. But sometimes based on the partners and everything, you have early calls like this, you have early board meetings. Outside of iCreate, parallel Kentire Holdings, I serve on other boards and so forth. So I'm on the board of 101. I'm on the board of Amazing Concrete Finishes run by Yannick Sharp. On this advisor board for the Prime Minister around digital transformation. I serve on government advisor board for Jamaica Productivity Center. I do a lot, so you know my day mostly consists of meetings, interviews too. I'm supposed to be on a TV teen program later this afternoon at AC Hotel. Mostly meetings, mostly in the companies. Manage your time well.
How you do that? How you manage your time?
It's just
I struggle right now.
Discipline.
Struggle like you, man.
Discipline. You have to be disciplined about certain things. Like, you're rarely gonna see me in a fast food line or any line. You're rarely gonna see me in traffic. You're rarely gonna see me doing any of those things that I think at the moment is getting in the way of doing something more productive. So if I'm not going to be the one that's going to be driving home in traffic or driving to work in traffic, that's why I'm here at 7 a.m. Sometimes I'm here at 6:30 a.m., 6 a.m., depending on the type of morning. Most times before 8, but most times early up, move around quickly, run my meetings early, early morning meetings. So by 11, I finish with most meetings. Don't go on the road in meetings, you know, in traffic for meetings and so forth. Thank God now Zoom and all of this make it easier. Because before COVID, you have to go every meeting. Everybody want to see you.
Everybody wants to see you.
And you want to see everybody, right? But that's different now. You know, typical CEO life, reviewing financials, business development, innovation is a big part of my thing. Like, I'm never comfortable with anything that we do. My team will tell you, whichever team, from Kentire Holdings, Parallel,
Can always better.
iCreate, I'm never comfortable with anything that we're doing. Right?
It's a disease here. It's not the same.
So I'm always changing up things and recommending change and all of that. And you know, we have an agency too. We used to produce a lot of content in the e-media side, TV shows, we did the weekend, all of those things. So we used to push my production team for the best too, excellence and everything. Yeah, but typical day, you know, typical day.
So we're on our way right now for some breakfast, and this morning went good. High-paced meetings. It was busy and, you know, real CEO type of lifestyle. So now we are jump up on the road and we're going to have some breakfast. We're going to consume some food. What type of skills now a person that needs to develop to reach to the level that you both are right now?
skills,
Yeah.
entrepreneur wise.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't think you have like any specific thing. It's just about like traits. And everybody have a kind of unique trait to them where enable their success over time. Like my thing Randy will tell you, determination.
Yeah.
You get me? Like we just not gonna give up. And that is what keep me going throughout everything over time.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely the trait that's most important in whatever field or whatever industry you're in. Some of us might be smarter than others, some might be more knowledgeable. But the one thing that sticks out throughout whichever industry, because in entrepreneurship it's not always going to be easy. It's mostly difficult, to be honest. So you have to be determined. That's the only way you're gonna be successful in entrepreneurship.
You feel like you contribute to his success and him contribute to your success? Based on the synergy you want to have?
Yeah, definitely. It's a one and wash the other type of thing. My thing personally, I'm a team player. Whatever position I need to play at on any given day to ensure that the team wins, that's my thing. And I think it's the same for Tyrone. But it's just that because it's actually a team, you know, most people normally see him at the head of the team, but our team generally is flexible like that. You know what I mean? Everybody play their part and do whatever they need to do to make sure that the team wins.
So you work for the same place, same community?
No? Met him about 20 years ago. Yeah, man.
Like my workshop at Type is very day in the life. I'm going to say day in the life of an innocent person. And that kind of have a deep meaning to it. And the reason why kind of shoot it up is that Jamaica have a lot of, on my side right now, role models. So we want to change the norm and actually put people who are work hard and not just try to find the easy way out to be role models. So how do you think now we can create that mind shift change for the younger youths?
I think a lot of the inner city youths want what I wanted to as an inner city person, you know. They aspire just the same. The biggest challenge is opportunities. You know, opportunity for reach out now to like a man like me and get to sit down and say, oh, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that, and we can open up the doors for them too. You'd be surprised how myopic your views can be as somebody in the inner city just because you don't get to see it. You don't get to see the world. I remember one time growing up in Kentire, I started a club and the name of the club was Teens Recreational Club. And the whole purpose behind the club was to come out of the ghetto and go somewhere. So go like Apple Valley, Serenity Park, like literally just come out, drive through Jamaica, see Jamaica. You'd be amazed at how many people in the ghetto like don't leave or go anywhere like 3 miles, 4 miles outside of the ghetto, you know. So just the type of exposure alone, meet other people, gain new perspectives is critical. But I think social media, digital is helping to solve a lot of that. Back then we would have to leave the ghetto for say somewhere. Now you can look internet and your smartphone, or which is cheap these days, you get to see the world more now. You know, so the access we I talk about easier to get, but you still need that step-by-step kind of guidance from somebody you can call or meet with and so forth.
So that's that people need to take a certain amount of initiative there.
Have
If they
to.
want something that they might reach out to them and if they don't answer, or a woman, if they don't answer, I just say about it. Don't try nothing done if you really want a change.
Yeah.
That's my story. Like Randy can tell you.
I think our generation of entrepreneurs are actually doing that though. without even realizing, and social media has a lot to do with it as well. Back in the days when you see like youths want to be like people who look like they're doing the same things that they would want to be doing.
Yeah.
Back in the days when you see an entrepreneur, is an older person one, him in a jacket suit, sit down behind the office desk, and you only probably are going to see him in the newspaper. You get me? But now you can actually see different lifestyles of entrepreneurs, so you can actually realize that, okay, well, I can be an entrepreneur and still do that. You get me? I couldn't tell when last I see Tyrone in a button-up shirt. But nobody don't work harder than Tyrone, I can tell you that. Even on a Sunday in a t-shirt, and he might do the most work. Enough man feel like you would need a jacket suit and a button-up shirt to be an entrepreneur, you get me? So I think our generation is changing that narrative without even realizing, just by being so influential. Back in my days, the people were seen as being cool were not the entrepreneurs. It wasn't cool to be an entrepreneur. But yeah, you have to be an artist, an athlete, something like that. That's what was cool.
Yeah.
But now you can look at the entrepreneur, can you follow him on IG, and I mean, I say, yo, this is cool. Yeah. Outside of wanting to actually run a business, because you have to actually want to run a business too. But you can see that the lifestyle matches with something that you would want to live as well.
Because everybody is on social media now. You don't think that make it more open to scrutiny? Like, before something out there, you have a nice bill. And I think take over the whole social media.
Crazy.
So, you don't think sometimes you have a negative effect, or
It does.
it's just part of the game?
It does, but it's part of the game.
Yeah.
I would be lying if I say sometimes certain things now have its effect, but not much in the grand scheme of things, you know. Like, as I tell you, I'm a student of entrepreneurship, and earlier when we talked, I tell you about the crises and decades and everything. Can you imagine if some of those guys, they just give up? We wouldn't have a Sagicor Life Jamaica today if Danny they just give up and say, boy, it's hard, him can't do it, him going to leave Jamaica. Right? The backlash, the fighting, all of that comes with the territory, and it's not just in entrepreneurship, it's in everything. Sports people get the worst. Look on LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, right? They get the fight too. So you have to have a certain level of resilience to get through it. But yeah, it happens, and it brings a lot of scrutiny with the social media and everything. But it's the era we're living in. We have to embrace it.
Who you look up to?
Who I look up to?
Kobe. I mentioned LeBron. Kobe with the Mamba mentality.
Yeah, I mean, right now I tell you, Kobe is my athlete.
Yeah.
When Kobe died, I ball like crazy, like right in my office one Sunday. I was at work.
Me and him in the office one Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm see it on my phone and I walk over to my office and show him.
Yeah.
Me and him alone in the office at work Sunday.
Yeah, man. So it's my athlete that Mamba forever, because you know him kind of demonstrates some of the things I believe in, which is the fight. You know, the Mamba, as you know, is a snake where it's a very aggressive attack, a very aggressive snake, venomous, attacking, strong. You know, his personality is somebody who go through a lot of things. Leadership get questioned, him character get questioned, everything get questioned. Him still do good, him fight through all that, and him win. Time and time again. You know, display the same type of mentality I have. I look up to a lot more people, you know, not just in sports, but business and so forth. You know, Steve Jobs is somebody who, and Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, more around how, as a non-creative, he embraced creativity and kept the Disney fire burning. Like they just brought him back as CEO, and him fired the head of the studio, Disney studio. The main reason why is him couldn't agree with the creatives, and him want an environment that support creativity, because that's what Disney is. If you can't be Disney and you're fighting with the creatives, right? So it's somebody who is known for that, but he's not a creative, he's a business person. But he has been able to be, arguably the most successful CEO for Disney, which is 100 years old. But also one of the greatest CEOs in the world. Iconic celebrity CEO. So look up to him too and so forth. And have local leaders too. A lot of respect for Richard Biles, who was my chairman at eMedia and so forth, a great leader. And I've learned a lot from him too.
I have a question. My question, what do you think is something innate or learned, or because there are many other youths today from
If it's innate or learned,
like we're trying to find the impacting, how to change how the youth them operate, because a lot of us we're tied to circumstances.
Yeah.
Identify with it. So what would you say
I think it's a combination. Like, at first though, it have to be innate. Like, I don't think you learn entrepreneurship. You learn how to manage a business. Meaning there's a difference between managing and leading. Leadership is inspirational, the management part now is about systems and stuff that you can learn at school. You can learn it at Mona Business School or whatever, how to put a strategic plan in place and whatever. But I realize a lot of things what I bring to the table as an entrepreneur coming straight out of college. The instinct is inside you. Like you feel it, like you know. So I remember when in 2008, when I wanted to start a digital media company and everything, like it was pretty traditional. Newspaper, TV, everything, but I say, this is the future. I feel like this can go a certain place, XYZ, I'm going into digital, right? And do the digital, and it was just instinct. It was just believing in the future, seeing something that don't exist today, and so boy, we're gonna pursue it, invest in it, do the numbers, because we don't make no decision without numbers, of course. See how the numbers make sense, and then just go after it. That part you can't learn that, but when the business starts move from passion to reality or idea to reality, there are things now that is not entrepreneurship. It's characteristics of being a CEO, right? That you have to learn certain skills. You have to learn how to read a financial statement, right? A balance sheet, a cash flow, profit and loss. Like, you have to learn that, right? You have to learn operations. You have to learn how to put a balanced scorecard together. Understand what a balanced scorecard means. You have to learn how to put together a CEO report to your board. All of those are the executive leadership type of things that are critical to. It's the engine of the, I wouldn't even say the engine, it's more the steering, like left, right kind of thing. Yeah. But the engine is always going to be that innate type of inspirational leadership, visionary thinking, whatever skills you're born with. Like a Steve Jobs could have just know that the cloud is the future. If you read some documents that they have during the court case with Samsung, some emails came to light from Steve Jobs. I still have it. That him talk about the future of Apple, right? And everything that you see Apple doing today, he spoke about the cloud and everything. That you don't learn. That is just instinct. That is just being a student of entrepreneurship understanding innovation, because the brands that he loved, was like IBM, right? Mercedes, and him study those brands. Is it IBM? Yeah, I think it's IBM. It's not IBM, it's HP, Hewlett Packard, one of them. He will pick up his phone and try to call the CEO. As a young entrepreneur coming up, Steve Jobs, just to pick them brain and learn. People used to talk how him would stare in their face and ask you some crazy things, because he's just that learner in terms of.
But just from the biography, so you don't have a Netflix, and just the way how when it fell was there, say, no, the computer to look like this, and man say, no possible. And the man say, you mean no possible?
that now you don't learn. Like that is, I'm use learn, I say learn earlier, learn in terms of learning history and what happened before you and everything, so that it helps your kind of internal thinking and the things where you believe, because sometimes you have some dreams and everything and you yourself feel like them crazy, you still a pursuit, but when you hear say the Ford did it, you say okay, man, the right track. That's still the inspiration. But what I said just now with Wozniak, like when him tell him say this is how him want it, look and don't tell me it's impossible, that are entrepreneurial skills where you're not learning in a classroom, right? That is just believing that something can be done no matter what. Randy will tell you that I me all of the time with everything.
Yeah, I try to remember your line. Your line again,
unreasonable but not unrealistic.
Unreasonable but not unrealistic.
So that's me.
This is meeting 4 of the day. So basically, he's going to be in a TV interview, and he's going to be basically mentoring the youth. So between ages like 12 and 16. And when I mean youth, I say males. So it should be interesting to see what he does. So I'm being very quiet here. Picking up back from the conversation, and we'll talk about basically the mindset we need, the positives of being an entrepreneur. But one major thing that people always experiences in life is a setback. So what was one of your biggest business setbacks, and how it affected you?
To be honest, like I don't know what's the biggest setback per se, but I've always experienced setbacks. One I remember is when in 2014, when I started to really turn the business around. This was e-media before iCreate, and I grew up with sickle cell disease, so I got sick while in Orlando researching iCreate. So I was at Full Sail University.
Yeah.
And it was one of them bad sickle cell crisis. Happened in April, took me out for like the rest of the year. So I came back to Jamaica like August. So April, May, June, July, August, like 4 or 5 months. I was in intensive care. It was life or death kind of thing. It was a big setback for me, not just being unable to be in the business, but also mentally. Because that was a time when I did really start move the business, and then it just took me out like that, It was a big setback. I think we still feel the effects of that year.
Yeah.
Really. Outside of that, COVID was it's more a blessing than a setback.
Some hear enough people are sustainable.
I caught COVID, but the COVID-19 2 years, 2020, 2021, it was a big setback in terms of it disrupted a lot of what we were doing because our business was at school.
Yeah.
But it gave me the opportunity to refocus and pivot. So the message is that no matter the setback, I think is how you look at it. I think everything is an opportunity to do something differently, try something else, or just really seeing things through a different lens, and to pursue what you need to do. So for me, I experience a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Negative in business, get a lot of fight, but it's all part of the journey for me. You see, if you have a kind of mindset that you just focus on the long term,
Yeah, man.
you don't get caught up in the short term issues as much. It's still gonna affect you, but you have to keep focus on the long term, and that's what I always try to do.
Long-term vision.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So like how we are talking about long-term now, that'll be the perfect segue. You're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur. If you never have iCreate, if you never have Parallel, if you never have Kentire, what 3 businesses would you be looking at right now? What 3 businesses you think what Jamaica could have
Well,
kick off in Jamaica now?
I'd be in tourism,
Tourism.
for sure. Still plan to be in tourism.
Yeah.
Have a decent product I'm coming with for the tourism market, but I'm not in it now, so I would be in tourism. I would be in food distribution too.
Food distribution.
Yeah, I would be in food distribution.
Like a restaurant or delivery side?
No, like manufacturing and distribution.
Okay.
Food. And funny enough, I'm this digital entrepreneur, right? So it don't make sense I mention no digital or something.
Yeah,
Like if
man.
I was doing anything digital, what else would I be doing? The next thing I'd be is agriculture.
Agriculture. You hear that?
Yeah.
So, I'm
So
glad to
agriculture, manufacturing and
Yeah.
distribution and tourism. Those are some key pillars for Jamaica.
Yeah.
Traditional, but so important to a lot of things regarding us as Jamaicans. Foreign exchange rate, prices, everything is so critical. If you can produce enough to feed your country and
help with
export.
sustainability also.
Right, it helps with inflation, helps with a lot of things and so forth. Helps with the foreign exchange rate, all of that. Prices, inflation, same thing. But so that would be in those 3.
I'm glad you say agriculture because my father is a farmer in St. Elizabeth where we come from. So farming semi-go school. And
My grandparents used to grow coffee,
coffee.
Blue Mountain coffee.
Put some crap on them thing there. Tough, man.
But if you get it right, what the agriculture missing a lot is the hardcore entrepreneurial push.
You have a lot of people treat it as a hustle.
It's like creativity
Yeah.
today. We have to get past it being a hustle and a side thing.
Yeah.
If you approach it with the right investment, a long-term investor, if you pre-stock exchange, if you shareholders, board, all of that, everything that those things that apply across the board.
Yeah.
We can do wonders in agriculture.
Nice.
We're talking to some marginalized youths about success.
Yeah.
My friend Sheena invited me. Sheena invited me to speak to the marginalized youths. Everybody meet Sheena. We're just gonna have that conversation and stuff. Sheena, you want to tell everybody? Try to.
I'm just coming from Life Impact Foundation to speak to the boys and really just showing compassion, how to be kind, how to be mindful. And so a lot of teenagers don't think being young they can make a difference or are not knowledgeable on how to be compassionate. That's pretty much it. And mastermind right here, Tyrone.
A big supporter of her work, When we talk about the mindset and so forth. So just some motivation.
Excited to hear you session now.
I wonder what I will say to them because this is a different generation. You understand? Yeah, so make us see how that go.
To wrap up everything, Jamaica or the Caribbean have, I think, maybe 3 billionaires or 5 billion, not even sure.
Yeah.
You think you can make a list there?
On the whole list, you have billionaires. I think Jamaica have at least 5 billionaires that are under 40, that 5 future billionaires that
Yeah.
are currently under 40, in the 30s, that can reach on the Forbes list.
Yeah.
And definitely I think I'm one of them. But there are some that I know that I'm associated with, friends with, who have a certain mindset that is not limited to Jamaica, right? We just happen to live here.
Yeah.
We happen to be patriots of our country, and we love our country, but we see some possibilities that exist outside our shores. And that's how we have to think as a country.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Michael Leach already paved the way
Yes, man.
for us at a long time ago. From I'm in high school, I hear about Michael Leach and Forbes list, billionaire. Right? We already paved the way. We see how possibilities, and we're in a different era now. You know, it's not going to take 30, 40 years. It should take 10. And some of these guys are giving back. Like I'm in a Michael Leach mentorship group, right? Myself and maybe 9, 10 more other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We get to meet with him regularly and hear from him and so forth. They are giving back. They're guiding us. They're guiding the next generation. And they don't want us to achieve it in the same time they achieved it. They want us to cut it in half.
Yeah.
And then the ones after us have to cut it in half
Cut
too.
it in half again.
Right? So we have to create that, because when we become, people think that, oh, I'm a billionaire, so we own selfish reasons. When we become billionaires, we're really helping a nation. We're inspiring the youngsters coming after us and everything.
People get jobs.
And we're giving back. And we're giving back now. Can you imagine later down the road? You know? So, yeah, it is something I'm actively working on.
Like the name is still the future billionaires.
Yeah.
Kind of coined my own thing. I call the followers of the channel future millionaires.
Yeah.
So a lot of
You
people
might think if you
embrace
switch it
it.
and say B.
Have to level up first.
Because if you fall short, if you fall below the B at the M, it's fine. But when you fall below millionaires, it exists. Yeah, we don't want that.
I say, picture tired there.
Billionaires.
Billionaires.
Future billionaires. That's all we want. Yeah.
So again, respecting that time.
Yeah, man, much respect.
Session. Tough,
Good session.
powerful.
Yeah. It was a good day.
Right audience, you know?
Yeah, the guys chill with me. It's started early this morning, 7 a.m. It's my usual time. You know, met with my partners over the Digital Marketing Institute. You know, have some exciting things with DMI and iCreate. Launching this new product we call the Digital Space. Exciting. I met with Randy, who's best friend, brother-in-law, business partner in iCreate. He heads the agency. He's also a partner in Parallel. Met with my deputy CEO, who just joined the team, Tony Spence. We're planning all sorts of things. And I just get my day here now with the boys to talk to them about these marginalized youths, guys from inner city, kids who have their own challenges. So I talk to them about success mindset and how to become a billionaire too. Yes. So, it's a good day. Thank you. Much respect.